a topic that I've been kind of dreading in a way. Maybe not really, but you know, it's been on the back burner. In today's video, I'm going to talk to you about Maffetone training in the second year. Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is David, and today is a topic that I've been kind of dreading in a way. Maybe not really, but you know, it's been on the back burner. So as you all know, I keep saying that, you know, I'm coming back from my ultra marathon and yada yada yada. Well, here's the thing. I feel like I've just taken a massive step backwards in my training. I made a promise to you that I would always be transparent, because a lot of you who are on the channel are watching, you know, my channel for heart rate training. It's something that I've been really passionate about for quite a while because I've seen results from it. But after my ultra marathon and this whole recovery time, because I didn't know what an ultra marathon would do to me, it's been a long kind of journey in a headspace to get back. So going into my second year of Maffetone training, where is my head at? Is it in a different place than where it was a year ago? These are some of the topics that I want to talk about, because there are some of you who have struggled, who have had a hard time with this whole approach. You know, some of you are just walking and you're getting frustrated with walking and you don't want to walk anymore, and you're getting fed up, right? Because you may not be seeing the results. I hear you guys. I've taken a step backwards in my training, and you know, I chalked it up to, you know, it was my watch. It was my watch's issue, right? Like my wrist-based heart rate monitor, the optical sensor wasn't working and blah, blah, blah. Like I started to come up with excuses in my head, and that had to stop. So, you know, I went out and I got my Polar H10 heart rate strap, and I'm going to tell you guys, it works extremely well, right? It's a great strap. Instantaneous results, like boom, like you just see it, and it's fantastic, and I'm grateful that I have it. And to be quite honest, I've had, like this week, I've had some amazing runs at keeping my heart rate in my zone, and I'm extremely happy with that. What I'm not happy with is where I am at with my numbers, and the ego comes out, right? The disappointment comes out. You know, David, you've regressed, you've gone back, right? You're not where you were. You're a minute slower than you were a number of months ago, right? And in my head, I'm like, how can that be? Like, so I'm exploring this, and I don't want it to happen to you. Hey guys, if you like the videos, think about liking, commenting, and you know, maybe even hit the subscribe button. I'd appreciate it. It would be awesome. You can follow along on my crazy journey of heart rate training. Also wanted to let you guys know I've got a Facebook group for our channel. It's called Plant Powered Runner. You can find it in Facebook groups, and you can see it on your screen here with all my social media contacts right there. Number one, set reasonable expectations. Like, I don't mean, you know, set them so low that you'll meet them, like, without even thinking about it. Set a reasonable expectation what you want to get out of this type of training. Do you have 6 months to train, you know, at a low heart rate? Do you have the support to help you get there? Meaning, can you get out and do your long runs on a Saturday or Sunday? You know, does your family environment support that, right? Are you in an area that's safe that you could run at night, right? These types of things, right? So set yourself up for success. Number two is buy a journal, okay? Journaling as you're a runner putting down your thoughts and your feelings about what's going right, what's not going right, what you're eating, right? Put that in your journal. What the weather is like, what the conditions are like, what you expected to get out of your run and what you actually achieved. These things can help you stay on track. And if something goes wrong in your training, you can look back and say, that's what was going on, right? I was really stressed because I got a new job, things like that, right? Looking at what you're eating. Your diet has a huge component to the whole Maffetone training lifestyle, okay? And this is an important factor because the more carbohydrates you eat, the more body weight and water you retain. More and more carbohydrates in your body, and you're just gaining weight, and you know, you're eating junk food and candy and pop, and before you know it, like, you're not doing well. Trust me, I know a little bit about that. So ditch the junk. Like, you can have avocados, right? You can have nuts and seeds. You can have cauliflower and asparagus and broccoli and tomatoes, right? These are all low carbohydrate foods, right? I mean, I tend to stay away from bananas because bananas are like high glycemic. So I tend to not have a whole lot of bananas anymore. Maybe have, like, when I have a smoothie, I'll have like a half of a banana, but I don't go crazy like I used to. I'm going to say this now after 1 year of training this way. I would say get a heart rate strap, guys. Get a Polar H10 or go for the newer version of the Polar. It's one to put on your arm. It's an optical. I forget what it's called, the HO2 or something. Anyways, I hear great reviews from that. And the reason why I say that is because it's very, very, very responsive. So as you're running, you know exactly what your heart rate is doing at that moment. There's no 10-second or 9-second or 8-second delay coming from your watch, right, on your wrist. So that to me is super important, to be accurate. And I went through a full year using my Coros watch, and the first watch I had seemed to be very accurate. But when my watch died and I got a replacement for it, the replacement didn't seem to be, I don't know. The replacement didn't seem to be as solid as my first one, and I don't know a reason why. And I'm not slamming the company. I'm just saying this is what I experienced. And I love my watch. Like, don't get me wrong, I love it. I mean, I'm not going anywhere away from it. I'm just saying that I've noticed a difference between the two. So I would suggest getting a Polar H10 strap. It works amazing. And if not, go with a Garmin, whatever the strap. But you get a chest strap. They work really well, and you're not going to be, always trying to adjust to figure out where you are with your pace, right? Like with your heart rate. I know I'm going to have to walk, right? I've already noticed I've had to walk a lot more than I thought I was going to, and I've been doing this for a year. So don't let the whole ego come into play as like, all I'm doing is walking. Guess what? That's exactly where you are in your aerobic training, right? If that's what your aerobic function is you have to walk, then walk, right? Take the time to build it up. You will get faster as you move along, okay? I don't like walking. Trust me, I want to run. But I got to do what it is I got to do, and I know it works. So going into the second year of this, I still have to walk. Right? I still have to walk. There's no going into this for a second year and kind of restarting my training again is I know where I'm at physically. And now, did I go all the way back? Did I regress all the way back to the beginning? No, I didn't. Right? I've been running this way for a long time. I ran a crap load of miles, guys. Huge volume for me. And so I've spent that time building up my base last year. And that hasn't gone away. Like, I didn't lose it all, right? But the longer you are as a runner, the longer you've been doing this, right? You've built up a base and you will hold on to that. But if you're just starting out and you don't really have a base, if you take time off, you will lose it. You will lose it, and it will take you a while to gain it back again. Just know that. That's just the way it works. This is a super important one, guys. You got to get sleep and reduce the stress. Yes, I'm going to put them both together, okay? Stress is crazy, right? The more stressed out you are, like if you're stressed thinking about, you know, starting this whole low heart rate training, your heart rate's going to be elevated. It just will be. If you're not sleeping well, if you're a shift worker, this may be a little harder for you to figure out your cycle and when you're going to get sleep and when you're not. But just know this, the lack of sleep equals a lack of recovery, right? And for you to get stronger, right, you need to be able to do the workouts, like you need to be able to do the running, but you're also going to need to be able to recover, right? It's super important. So you need to get good quality, undisturbed sleep. You have to reduce the stress in your life, okay? So if you will notice your heart rate on your runs will be higher the more stressed out you are, whether it's financial, family life, work related, whatever it is, right? If you're anxious, right, your body's going to be responding to that, okay? Now, for me, right now, this isn't necessarily a big factor because it is flipping snow everywhere in Canada. I got snowbanks, I've got snow everywhere. But let me tell you, when it gets warmer and the summer comes, oh my gosh, my heart rate, it is so hard to keep it in that zone. So if you right now are in sunny parts of the world where it's nice and warm and very, very hot, climate and muggy, just know that you're gonna have to adapt to that environment, and in doing so your heart rate is going to be, you're going to be running slower with that same heart rate, okay? But when it cools down, you'll be able to see a major difference because your fitness has been building and building underneath, and when it cools down, then your fitness will shine and your heart won't have to work so hard at kind of cooling ourselves down, right? So just know that when it gets cooler, we will be faster. Consistency. You have to be consistent to see the results. Just another reminder, get out there and run. And yeah, the mileage does make a difference, right? The more that you run, the more consistent you are, the better you'll just see the results, right? They'll come. And one last thing, running 3 days a week, 45 minutes each, you're really not going to see the results. You may, but they're going to be fleeting. So I suggest that you're at least putting in at least bare minimum 4 hours a week, just bare minimum. But I would even say it needs to be higher than that. I mean, to really start to see results, you're going to have to put in time, right? It's not distance, it's time on your feet. And a sweet spot for me is 8 hours of running time during the week. That's when I see a big difference. Like I always say, everybody, get out and run.
Trying to find some balance.